What's up, Broncos Country? Get your heart ready, because what I'm about to tell you now could completely change how you're going to watch the game against the Jets. I know you're anxious. I know you've got that nervous feeling in your stomach thinking about the Week 6 matchup, but hold on, because what's coming might be much bigger than you imagine. There are 3 situations that could happen in this game that will leave everyone's jaws on the floor. And no, I'm not going to give it all away up front. You're going to need to stick with me until the end, because every minute of this video is gold for anyone who bleeds orange and blue. Let's go! Look, first of all, let's contextualize where we are. The Broncos come into this Week 6 with a record that has left a lot of people divided. There are those who believe the team has finally found its way, and there are those who still have that hesitation, that suspicion from people who have suffered too much in recent seasons. But one thing is certain, every game now is crucial. Every snap, every play, every decision could be the difference between continuing to dream about the playoffs or watching another season slip through our hands. And the Jets? The Jets are an opponent that can't be underestimated at all. They have talent, they have pieces that can explode at any moment, and if we slip up, they'll punish us. But you know what I think? I think this game has everything to be a watershed moment. And these 3 bold predictions I'm going to share with you show exactly why. First situation, our quarterback is going to have the best performance of the season. That's right, you heard it. I know there are people who still doubt. I know there are people who are like, can he handle the pressure? But listen here, everything indicates this game is going to be his game. The Jets' defense has holes, has weaknesses that can be exploited with intelligence and perfect timing. And our general has shown evolution each week. Think about it. In recent games, we've seen progression. We've seen faster decisions, more accurate throws, defense reading improving. And against the Jets, all the stars seem to be aligning for him to have that day when everything flows, when every throw finds the right hands, when the connection with the receivers is on point. We're talking about a performance that could include over 300 yards through the air, multiple touchdowns, and most importantly, 0 interceptions. Because let's face it, turnovers destroy drives, kill momentum, and hand the game over on a silver platter to the opponent. But if our quarterback can protect the ball, make the right decisions, and execute the game plan with precision, we might be witnessing the birth of something special. And look, Broncos Country, I'm not saying this lightly. I'm saying it based on what we've been seeing on the field, the tools he has at his disposal, and the potential this offense has to explode. The Jets will present schemes. They'll try to confuse. They'll bring pressure. But if the offensive line holds up minimally and gives those 2-3 seconds of clean pocket, our quarterback has the arm and vision to make a difference. He has receivers who know how to create separation, has tight ends who can be crucial safety valves, and has running backs who keep the defense honest. It's all a matter of execution, and when I talk about best performance of the season, I'm not just talking about cold statistical numbers. I'm talking about leadership, about presence, about elevating everyone around him. I'm talking about that kind of game where, at the end, everyone will say, that's where we saw he really can be the guy. And Denver Broncos family, I believe that moment is coming. It could be Sunday. It could be against the Jets. It could be now. Second bold prediction, our defense is going to force at least 4 turnovers. 4. You might be thinking, man, 4 turnovers is a lot, and it is. But let me explain why this isn't as crazy as it seems. First, let's talk about our defensive coordinator. The guy is a master at creating schemes that confuse quarterbacks. He knows how to disguise coverages, how to bring pressure from unexpected angles, how to make the opposing quarterback see ghosts. And the Jets, let's face it, don't exactly have the most solid offensive line in the league. There are holes there that can be exploited. There are moments when the protection breaks down. And when the protection breaks down, bad things happen. Our defensive line is hungry. These guys want blood. They want sacks. They want pressure. They want to make the opposing quarterback's life hell. And when you can put constant pressure, force hurried throws, make the guy play uncomfortable, the mistakes come. The balls get loose, the decisions become questionable, and suddenly you have turnover opportunities appearing. And we're not just talking about interceptions, no. We're talking about forced fumbles. We're talking about strip sacks. We're talking about devastating hits that make the ball fly. Our defense has shown impressive physical attitude, and against a team that can be caught by surprise, this could result in multiple changes of possession. Now, our secondary? Man, these guys are reading routes like it's an open book. Communication is better, execution is sharper, and they're hungry to create that big play that changes the game. Think of a safety reading the quarterback's progression and breaking on the ball at the right moment. Think of a cornerback making a perfect undercut on a route and returning with the interception for a touchdown. These things can happen, and against the Jets, I believe they will happen multiple times. For turnovers isn't just about luck. It's about preparation, execution, and attitude. It's about a defense that's together, that trusts the scheme, that trusts each other. And when you have these elements aligned, numbers like that stop being fantasy and become reality. Tell me, Broncos Country, do you believe our defense will deliver this whole show? Because I believe it. And if it happens, this game will flip upside down. Oh, and just to reinforce, each turnover is a golden opportunity. It's a chance to put our offense on the field with short field position, to build momentum, to break the opposing team's spirit. It's literally stealing possessions and turning them into points. And in a balanced game, 4 turnovers is the difference between victory and defeat. It's the difference between leaving the field celebrating and leaving with your head down. Our defense knows this, and I bet they're going to deliver. Third prediction, and this one might be the most controversial of all. Our running game is going to completely dominate. That's right, dominate. We're talking about more than 150 rushing yards, multiple touchdowns on the ground, and a performance that will make the Jets wonder, what the hell happened? Now, I know what you might be thinking, but the running game hasn't exactly been our strongest point. And you're not wrong. But listen here, everything indicates this game could be different. The Jets' defense against the run has shown vulnerabilities. There are moments when they simply can't control the lines, when the gaps are open, when the linebackers are lost. And our main running back? The guy is hungry. He's waiting for the opportunity to explode. And when you give him 20-25 touches with an offensive line that's starting to dominate, magical things can happen. We're talking about runs of 10, 15, 20 yards. We're talking about breaking tackles, making guys miss, imposing physical will. The running game isn't just about statistics. It's about attitude. It's about looking at the guy in front of you and saying, "You're not going to stop me." It's about 3 yards and a cloud of dust when needed. It's about controlling the clock, keeping their defense on the field, tiring these guys out until they can't take it anymore. And when you do that efficiently, you're not just gaining yards. You're winning the game. And there's another thing. A dominant running game completely opens up the play action. Suddenly, those safeties who should be helping in coverage are taking a step forward because they're afraid of the run. And when they take that step, boom, you have receivers open deep. You have tight ends running alone through the middle of the field. You have a balanced and unstoppable offense. The Jets will have to choose their poison. Are they going to stack the box to stop the run? Fine, we'll throw over the top. Are they going to drop back to protect against the pass? Great, we'll shove the run down their throats until they can't take it anymore. It's checkmate. And when you have a running back who's confident, an offensive line that's playing with attitude, and a play caller who's not afraid to be physical, you have a recipe for domination. 150 rushing yards might seem ambitious, but it's not impossible. Not when you consider the opponent's weaknesses, our strengths, and the importance of establishing identity. Great football teams can run the ball when they want to, when they need to. And if the Broncos can do that against the Jets, it's not just a victory. It's a statement. It's telling the rest of the league, we're here. We're physical, and you're going to have to respect us. Now, let me tell you something important. Denver Broncos family, these 3 predictions aren't guarantees. Football is played on the field, not on paper. But they're completely possible scenarios based on matchups, trends, and potential. There are things that can happen if everything aligns. And honestly, I think everything could work out. This game against the Jets is huge. It's the kind of game that can define the direction of the season. Winning with authority, winning by making a statement, winning by showing this team came to really fight for the playoffs, that changes everything. It changes the locker room's confidence. It changes external perception. It changes the momentum of the entire season. And look, Broncos Country, if you're watching this video up to here, you're true. You're family. You bleed the colors. So I'm going to ask you something. If you believe these predictions can become reality, if you believe Sunday is going to be special, go ahead and drop that like down below. Show that you're with us. Show that you believe. Because at the end of the day, being a fan isn't just about the good moments. It's about being there in the highs and lows. It's about believing even when it's difficult. It's about being part of something bigger than you. And the Denver Broncos family is exactly that. It's a group of people spread all over the world who share the same passion, the same love, the same devotion for this team. So when our quarterback connects that perfect deep pass on Sunday, when our defense forces that crucial fumble, when our running back breaks that tackle and gains 20 yards, remember, you're feeling the same emotion as thousands of other people, that you're part of something special, that you are Broncos Country. And speaking of that, if you're true Broncos Country, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single play. Turn on the notification bell because I'll be here every week bringing the hottest analysis, the boldest predictions, and all the content you need to follow our team. This channel is made by a fan, for fans. It's made with blood, sweat, and lots of passion. So stick with us on this journey. Now, let's talk a bit about the bigger context of this matchup. The Jets come in with their own expectations, with their own motivations. They're not just going to hand over the game. They have offensive talent that can do damage if we slip up. They have playmakers who can change the game in a single play. They have a defensive scheme that can present challenges, but you know what the difference is? We have something that can't be measured in statistics. We have hunger. We have a team that's gone through adversity that was underestimated, that was written off by many people. And teams like that are dangerous. Teams like that play with a different intensity. They play like every snap is the last. Our offensive line needs to win the individual battles. They need to give the quarterback time. They need to open holes for the running back. They need to execute blocks with technique and controlled violence. And from the practices, from the attitude we've been seeing, these guys are ready. But they're ready to impose physical will. They're ready to dictate the pace of the game. And defensively, we need to be aggressive. We can't be reactive, waiting for what they're going to do. We need to attack, force them to react to what we're doing. We need to bring pressure from all sides. We need to confuse their quarterback. We need to make him feel uncomfortable from the first to the last snap. The linebackers will have a crucial role. They need to stop the run. They need to cover the running backs and tight ends in the pass. They need to be the glue that holds the defense together. And from what we've been seeing, these guys are playing at the highest level. They're reading and reacting fast. They're tackling with authority. They're making the plays that need to be made. And our secondary? They're going to be tested. The Jets will try to attack through the air. They'll try to find favorable matchups. But our corners and safeties are prepared. They're studying film. They know the tendencies. They know what to expect. And when the ball goes in the air, I bet they'll be there to make the play. Special teams also can't be forgotten. Field position is crucial. A good punt or kickoff return can completely change the momentum of the game. Solid coverage that buries them near their own end zone, that puts immediate pressure. And our specialists have shown consistency. They've executed when called upon. And we're going to need them Sunday. Now, let's go back to that first prediction about the quarterback's performance. I want to elaborate a bit more because this is absolutely central to the team's success. A quarterback playing at his best level elevates everyone. The receivers play with more confidence because they know the ball will arrive. The offensive line plays with more confidence because they see their sacrifice is generating results. The running game benefits because the defense can't stack everyone in the box, and mentally, a dominant quarterback controls the game. He gets to the line, reads the defense, makes the necessary adjustments. He checks to the better play if he sees something he doesn't like. He knows when to hold the ball one more second to let the route develop and when he needs to get rid of it quickly. He turns third and long into first down with a perfect pass. He keeps drives alive when they seem dead, and against the Jets, all the tools are available. We have speed on the perimeter with our receivers who can stretch the field vertically. We have reliable tight ends who make difficult catches look routine. We have running backs who are excellent receivers coming out of the backfield. These are multiple weapons that need to be respected. The offensive game plan will probably look to establish the run early, make them respect the run, and then attack with play action. It will look to create manageable third down situations, avoid third and longs, which are basically deaths. It will look for points in the red zone because field goals don't win games against competent teams, and execution will be everything. You can have the best play call in the world, but if there's a false start, if there's holding, if someone runs the wrong route, it doesn't work. Discipline has to be there. Focus has to be there. And from the way this team has been practicing, from the culture the coaching staff has been building, I believe it will be there. Going back to the second prediction about the 4 defensive turnovers. Let me paint a scenario for you. First quarter, 3rd down and 7. The Jets decide to throw an intermediate ball. Our linebacker reads the quarterback's eyes, breaks on the route, intercepts. Our offense takes over in their territory. 3 plays later, touchdown. 7-0, second quarter. The Jets are trying to respond, penetrating into our territory. 2nd down and 5. They try a run to the strong side. Our defensive end isn't blocked cleanly. Hits their running back exactly when the ball arrives. Fumble, we recover. Once again, short field for the offense. Results in at least a field goal. 10 or 13-0, third quarter. They're desperate now, needing to make something happen. They try a deep pass. Our safety was hidden, pretending he wasn't in the play. Boom, appears out of nowhere, interception, maybe even a return for touchdown. The stadium explodes. The momentum is completely on our side. 4th quarter. They're trying one last desperate drive. Constant pressure finally results in a strip sack. Ball on the ground, we fall on it. Game basically over. 4 turnovers. Each one of them changing the game, each one of them creating opportunities, each one of them crushing their spirit. This isn't fantasy. This is completely plausible when you have a defense executing at a high level against a team that can be forced into mistakes. And family, if this happens, if our defense really delivers this kind of dominant performance, we're not just talking about a win. We're talking about a statement to the rest of the league that the Broncos came to make noise. And that third prediction about dominating with the running game? Let me tell you why this would be so significant. In recent seasons, we've been known as a team that needs to win through the air, a team that depends on the quarterback's arm to generate all the offense. And there's nothing wrong with that. But truly complete teams can win in multiple ways. Being able to impose your will physically, being able to take the ball and run it straight down their throats when they know it's coming, that's power. That's domination. That's looking at the guy in front of you in the 4th quarter when everyone is tired and saying, we're going to run again, and you're not going to stop it. 150 rushing yards with multiple touchdowns on the ground means we controlled the lines, means we won the physical battles, means when we needed a critical yard, we got it, and means in the 4th quarter, when the game is on the line, we can trust our running game to seal the victory. And think about the psychological impact. Their defense starting the game full of confidence and then taking a physical beating for 60 minutes. Chasing our running back, tackle after tackle, watching him continue to gain yards. Eventually, bodies get tired. Eventually, the will starts to break. Eventually, they stop playing with the same intensity. And that's when you break the game wide open. A dominant running game is also the defense's best friend, because it keeps them fresh, keeps them off the field, keeps the opposing team without the ball. And when your defense is fresh and rested, they can play with the aggressiveness and speed that makes them special. It's all connected. Everything works together. So these 3 predictions aren't isolated. They complement each other. A quarterback playing well opens space for the running game. A strong running game makes the quarterback's job easier. A defense creating turnovers puts the offense in position to dominate. It's complete football. This is how championships are won. And look, I know some of you might be skeptical, might be thinking this is too much optimism, or let's see it on the field, and that's okay. Being skeptical is part of it. We've been hurt before. We've had hopes destroyed before. But part of being a fan is continuing to believe. It's staying hopeful. It's visualizing victory before it happens. Because when you stop believing, when you stop dreaming, you stop being truly a fan. You become just a casual observer. And Broncos Country isn't made of casual observers. It's made of believers. It's made of people who are there when it's tough and when it's easy, who celebrate each victory like it's a championship and suffer each loss like a personal tragedy. So yes, these predictions are bold. They're ambitious, but they're based on real analysis, on real matchups, on real potential. And more importantly, they're based on faith. Faith in this team, faith in these players, faith in this organization. And if you're true Broncos Country, you have that faith too. The game against the Jets isn't just another game. It's an opportunity. Opportunity to prove the critics wrong. Opportunity to show growth. Opportunity to build momentum for the second half of the season. And if these three predictions become reality, it's not just a pretty win. It's the kind of win that defines seasons. Imagine the highlights. Imagine the replays. Imagine the post-game press conference with players smiling, talking about execution, talking about getting the job done. Imagine the feeling of waking up on Monday, knowing your team just put on a clinic. That's what we play for. That's what we root for. And no matter what happens, no matter if all these predictions come true or not, one thing is guaranteed. The Denver Broncos family will be there. We'll be screaming on every third down. We'll be celebrating every touchdown, like it's the first. We'll be suffering every mistake like it's a stab wound. Because that's what we do. That's what we are. So I want to know from you, which of these three predictions do you think is most likely to happen? Do you think it will be the quarterback explosion? The 4 turnovers from the defense? The total domination in the running game? Or do you think just maybe all three could happen? Leave your opinion here in the comments. Let's debate. Let's exchange ideas. Let's build this anticipation together. So, Denver Broncos family, what would you do if these three predictions became reality? How would you celebrate? Where would you be watching? Comment down below. And don't forget to drop that like. Share this video with all your friends who are Broncos Country too. Let's spread this positive energy. Let's show the team that the fans are with them, that the fans believe, that the fans are ready to celebrate an epic victory. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Every week there's new content, deep analysis, bold predictions, all about the Broncos. This is the place where Broncos Country gathers, where the family meets, where passion for the team is celebrated without limits. Sunday can't come soon enough. The heart is already racing just thinking about the possibilities. And when that opening whistle sounds, when our players step on the field, when the battle begins, you can be sure we'll be here, cheering together, suffering together, celebrating together. Because that's what it means to be Broncos Country. That's what it means to be part of the Denver Broncos family. Until the next video, family, let's go all out. On to victory!